Have you ever felt it? That sudden thump in your chest, a tiny flutter followed by a rush. Your heart, once steady and calm, now beating a little faster. Not in panic, just in presence. It could be a noise in the dark, a strange shape in the distance, a moment where the air changes and you don't know why, but your body knows. Before your thoughts catch up, your heart has already moved. Why does that happen? Why does your chest feel tighter, your breath a little sharper, your hands a little warmer? Why, when we're scared, or even just surprised, does our heart race? That's the question we'll be falling into tonight, but we won't rush through it. We'll glide, slowly, softly, like walking through a dream. Because tonight isn't about fear, it's about understanding. We're going to explore the body's response to fear, not with worry, but with wonder, a gentle curiosity, like watching fireflies in the dark. You don't chase them, you just notice. So tonight, let's notice. Let's breathe. Let's rest in the quiet rhythm of the body's ancient reflexes, the ones we didn't choose, but that still rise within us like waves. Before we begin, can I ask something soft and small? Where in the world are you listening from tonight? What time is it there for you? Are the stars out yet? Are your eyes getting heavy? If you're comfortable, I'd love for you to leave a little comment and let me know where you are, just so I know who I'm whispering to tonight. And if this kind of calm helps you slow down, breathe softer, and maybe fall asleep a little easier, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, not to grow something big, just to help keep this quiet little corner alive, a space for people who need stillness, softness, and maybe just a little bit of science before bed. Now, back to the question. Why does the heart beat faster when we're scared? To understand that, we have to begin not with fear, but with the heart itself. Your heart is about the size of your fist. It sits just slightly to the left of the center of your chest, and all day long, every second, it's pumping blood through your body. That blood carries oxygen, warmth, and life to every cell. Your heart has its own rhythm, its own electricity. It doesn't need to be told what to do, it already knows. But even though it's strong and steady, it still listens. It listens to your brain, to your breath, to your emotions, and most of all, it listens to your nervous system. Deep in your body, you have something called the autonomic nervous system. That just means the part of your body that works automatically without you needing to think about it. It controls your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, your sweat, your pupils. It's always there, always adjusting, always protecting you. And this system has two sides. One side is like a brake pedal. It slows you down, calms you, tells your body that it's safe to rest. The other side is like a gas pedal. It gets you ready, it activates your muscles, it sharpens your senses. When you're scared, your body presses the gas. Not because you told it to, but because it's trying to protect you. This is called the fight or flight response. It's ancient, it's built into us, and it begins with a tiny part of your brain called the amygdala. When the amygdala senses something dangerous, or even just unexpected, it sends a message to another part of the brain that controls the body's emergency systems. And one of the first things that happens is your heart gets the signal to beat faster. Why? Because your body is preparing you for action, for defense, for running or fighting or hiding. Even if you're just startled by a loud sound or a scary thought, your heart reacts the same way it would have thousands of years ago if you were facing a wild animal in the dark. It beats faster to pump more blood to your muscles, to carry more oxygen, to get you ready. It's not panic, it's preparation. And here's the beautiful part. The system works even when there's no real danger, even when you're safe in bed, listening to a quiet voice like this. Your body still reacts because it cares, because it remembers what it's built to do. And that, I think, is something to admire. Not fear, not judge, just admire. Your body's been practicing survival for thousands of years, and every beat of your heart, even the fast ones, is part of that legacy. In the next part of our story, we'll look deeper into the chemicals that help trigger this process, like adrenaline, and how they move through the body in seconds, shifting everything without us even noticing. But for now, just breathe. Let your shoulders fall. Let your belly rise. Let your heartbeat slow again. It knows what to do. It always has. And tonight, it's learning that you are safe, that you are still, that you can rest. Let's drift now into the part of your body that carries the signal of fear, the one that doesn't knock or ask, the one that moves like a flash and changes everything in just a few seconds. That signal comes in the form of a hormone called adrenaline. You've probably heard the word before. Some people call it the fight-or-flight chemical. Others think of it as a burst of energy or that jittery feeling in the chest when something unexpected happens. But adrenaline isn't loud. It's not dangerous. It's just fast. And it's old. Very old. Long before we had language, we had this. Adrenaline is made in small glands called adrenal glands, which sit right on top of your kidneys like little soft hats. They're tiny but powerful, and when your brain thinks something might be wrong, like danger is near or something unfamiliar is happening, it sends a tiny message to those glands, and within seconds adrenaline is released into your bloodstream. It travels everywhere, but it has favorite places to visit. The heart is one of them. It tells the heart, beat faster, move quicker, prepare, and the heart listens. Not because it's scared, but because it's loyal, because it's been trained to protect you. That faster heartbeat pushes more blood toward your muscles. It gives you energy, focus, strength. But if there's no real danger, if the fear was just a loud sound, a worrying thought, a strange shape in the dark, then the extra speed doesn't need to stay. Your body eventually figures that out. Slowly, it returns to calm. But during that first wave, it's all about movement. That's why your breathing changes too. Adrenaline tells your lungs, take in more air, get more oxygen, just in case. So your breaths become shorter, maybe faster, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your body thinks it's helping, and in its own quiet way, it is. This is the same response that helped early humans survive wild animals, fire, storms, and danger in the night. You carry that system inside you. It's not outdated. It's not broken. It just hasn't learned the difference between a tiger and a deadline, between a shadow and a sudden thought. That's okay. It means your body cares about your safety so deeply that it prepares even when you're not sure why. Sometimes this response feels uncomfortable. Your hands might shake, your face might get warm, your chest might feel heavy, but all of that is explainable, and when we understand it, the fear softens. Adrenaline also causes your pupils to widen so you can see more clearly. It sends blood away from your skin and toward your muscles, which is why your hands might feel cold. It pauses digestion, tightens some muscles, and loosens others. All of these changes are designed to help you act quickly, just in case, but if no action is needed, the body begins to reverse them. Slowly, gently, as if saying, okay, we're safe now. There's something beautiful about that. Your body doesn't need a loud voice or big decisions to know how to shift. It's watching quietly, adjusting constantly. You don't even need to think. Your body just knows. And yes, sometimes it gets the signal a little too early or too often. That's why you might feel your heart race even when nothing's wrong. But that doesn't mean your body is broken. It means it's sensitive, attentive, loving in its own reflexive way. Some people feel frustrated when this happens. They think, why is my body doing this? Why now? But tonight, I'd like you to try something softer. Instead of fighting the feeling, what if you thanked it? What if you whispered, thank you, body. I know you're trying to protect me, but it's okay now. I'm safe here. That tiny thought can send a ripple through your system, a kind ripple, the beginning of calm. And once your brain senses that safety, it sends a message to stop releasing adrenaline. The glands quiet down, the heartbeat slows, the lungs return to a softer rhythm. This is called the recovery phase, and it's just as important as the fear itself, because it shows that your body isn't stuck. It knows how to return. Like waves pulling back into the sea, like wind softening in the trees. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore how fear shapes your muscles, why your shoulders tighten, why your hands clench, and how posture can help send safety signals back into your body. But for now, let's stay here in the rhythm of breath. Let's notice your heartbeat, not judge it. Maybe it's fast, maybe it's soft. Just place your hand over your chest and feel it. That little drum, that quiet music. It has never stopped playing for you, not once. And even now, it's adjusting, listening, learning from your stillness. That's the beauty of the human body. It doesn't need perfection. It just needs your patience and your breath. Let's keep drifting now, just a little deeper, into the body's quiet conversation with fear. We've already felt the heart quicken, the breath rise, and adrenaline arrive like a messenger at the door. But what happens next, right after your heart begins to race, is something you might feel in your shoulders, your arms, your jaw. Something soft but firm. Your muscles begin to tighten. It's subtle at first, a gentle squeeze in your neck, a lift in your shoulders, a curl in your fingers, as if bracing for something without knowing what. This too is part of the fear response. Your muscles are preparing just like your heart did, preparing to move, preparing to protect. But here's the part we often forget. Most of the time, the movement never comes. The fear passes, the noise fades, the moment moves on. But the muscles, they remember. They stay a little tighter, a little tenser, just in case. You may notice it later, your shoulders feeling sore, your jaw slightly clenched, your neck stiff for no clear reason. It's your body holding on to the fear long after the fear itself is gone. It didn't mean to. It was just trying to help. This is called muscle guarding. It's the body's way of creating armor, a soft armor made of tension, readiness, and instinct. It's an ancient response because thousands of years ago, fear usually meant danger, and danger meant action, running, climbing, defending, hiding. Muscles had to be ready at all times. But today, many of our fears don't require movement. They're made of thoughts, not tigers, emails, alarms, conversations, memories. And yet the body responds the same way because it can't tell the difference between a physical threat and an emotional one. Not at first. So your muscles do what they've always done. They prepare, they contract, they hold. Even while you're lying still, even while you're trying to sleep. You may not notice it, but your legs are slightly stiff, your hands are curled, your stomach feels a little tight. These are the soft leftovers of unexpressed fear. But they're not here to hurt you. They're here to show you where the body needs softness, where it's asking quietly for release. One of the gentlest ways to calm the fear response is through the muscles. When you help your body feel loose, the brain begins to believe it is safe. That's the reverse of what we often think. We usually believe the brain tells the body how to feel, but it also works the other way. When your body is tense, your brain says, "Something must be wrong." When your body is soft, your brain whispers, "Everything is okay." This is why movement, gentle, slow movement, can be so healing. Not workouts, not discipline, just kindness. Simple stretches, a warm bath, a soft sway from side to side. Sitting on the floor with your spine upright and your shoulders low, resting your head against a pillow and breathing into your belly. These are small invitations, little messages sent from the body to the mind, saying, "We are not in danger anymore. We are home." Another powerful signal comes from the face. Did you know that your facial muscles help regulate your emotional state? When you soften your forehead, your eyebrows, your jaw, you're doing more than relaxing. You're signaling safety. The vagus nerve, which you've already met, is deeply connected to the face. When it senses stillness in the face, it tells the body to slow down. So if your heart is racing and you're not sure why, one of the best things you can do is relax your face. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth, unclench your teeth, let your eyes half close, even if they're not ready to sleep. Let your cheeks fall, and just wait. Wait without doing. Your body is listening, it always is. And slowly it will respond. In moments of fear, your body thinks it's helping you. It thinks you need to run or fight or act. And sometimes you do, but most of the time you just need stillness. So tonight, you can offer that stillness like a gift. Not as a command, not as a chore, just as a whisper, a quiet reminder. You can even speak it softly to yourself. I'm okay now. You can rest. You can let go. Words like that aren't just for the mind. They travel through the nervous system like warm light. They reach the chest, the belly, the jaw, and the heart, always listening, begins to slow again. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore how thoughts, those soft little sparks in the brain, can begin the entire fear reaction before your body even moves. But for now, if you'd like, you can take a moment to scan your body, not with judgment, just curiosity. Are your toes clenched? Is your brow tight? Is your stomach pulling inward? If so, see what happens when you simply soften. Just a little. Just enough. No effort. No goal. Just a little more space. That's what the body has always needed. Not permission to panic, just permission to breathe. And in that breath, you'll find safety. Not because danger disappeared, but because peace arrived. Let's slow down now and walk gently into the quietest part of all, the space where fear begins before anything happens in the body, before the heart speeds up, before the breath shortens, before the muscles brace. It begins with a thought, not always a loud one, sometimes just a flicker, a whisper, a tiny ripple in your mind. Maybe you hear a sound in the distance and your brain wonders, what was that? Maybe you remember something from earlier, a moment that didn't sit quite right. Maybe you think of tomorrow or next week or something you can't control. The thought doesn't have to be strong, it just has to be different. Something unfamiliar, something uncertain. And in that moment, often without you noticing, your brain decides it might be time to prepare. Not panic, just prepare. And so, the body begins to respond. All of this can happen in less than a second. That's how closely your thoughts and body are connected. It's not just muscles and nerves and hormones. It's meaning, emotion, memory, and sometimes it's even imagination. Because here's the truth, your brain doesn't always know the difference between real danger and imagined danger. If you picture something scary in vivid detail, like falling or failing or being alone, your body might react as if it's really happening. The heart may speed up, the breath may shift, your jaw may tighten, all from a single image in your mind. That's not weakness, that's biology. That's the way the human system was designed, to protect you, to prepare you, even if the fear is only a possibility. In the past, this was helpful. Imagine walking through a forest and remembering that wolves were seen nearby. That memory could save your life. But in today's world, those thoughts are often about things that don't need fast action. They're about deadlines, texts, worries. They're real in the mind, but not always real in the body. And yet your body responds faithfully every time. So you see, it's not the event that starts fear, it's your interpretation of the event. It's the meaning you assign to what you saw or heard or remembered, and that interpretation can happen in less than a blink. Sometimes we don't even know what thought triggered us. We just suddenly feel not okay. That's what makes this part of fear the hardest to spot, because it's invisible, it's internal, but it's also the easiest place to begin healing, because if your thoughts can create the reaction, then new thoughts can help reverse it. Not forcefully, not with pressure, but gently, like turning a boat just a few degrees to find calmer water. That's where breath and awareness come in. When you feel fear and don't know why, when your heart is racing and your chest feels tight, try not to ask, "What's wrong with me?" Instead, you can ask, "What was I just thinking?" Or even, "What might my body be responding to?" That question opens the door. It gives you a moment of space. And in that space, the nervous system has a chance to rebalance. You can meet the thought, not fight it, just meet it, with a slower breath, with a kind phrase, with the reminder that not every thought is true, and not every fear needs to become a feeling. One calming practice is to name what's happening in your body as if you were watching gentle waves. You might say softly in your mind, "I feel a flutter in my chest," or "There's a tightness in my belly," or even, "I notice fear is present." That act of naming, without judgment, tells the brain it doesn't need to react. It helps shift your thoughts from stories into sensations, from panic into presence. And in that shift, the heart begins to slow, the muscles begin to loosen, the breath begins to deepen. You haven't done anything dramatic, just noticed. That's the power of thought. It can start fear, but it can also start peace. You don't have to silence your thoughts to feel safe. You only have to soften around them. Like waves on the shore, they'll come, they'll rise, and they'll fall. And you'll still be here, breathing, listening, safe. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore what happens inside the heart itself, how it knows how to beat faster, what signals guide it, and how it finds its rhythm again after fear passes. But for now, let's stay with your thoughts. They are not the enemy. They are just part of you, doing their best to understand the world. And even when they whisper fear, you can whisper back, "I am here. I am safe. I am allowed to rest." Say it softly now, if you'd like. Say it to the space around you. Say it to your body. Say it to the thought, and then let it float away. Let's drift now into the center of it all, the place where fear becomes movement, where thoughts turn into rhythm, and where the sound of your survival begins. Let's visit the heart itself. It sits there, quietly, just slightly to the left of your chest, strong but never loud, steady but never stiff. It's always moving, even now as you listen, as you rest, as your thoughts rise and fall like ocean swells, your heart continues. Soft thuds, gentle pulses, a quiet drum keeping time. But how does it know when to beat faster, and how does it know when to slow down again? The answer is your heart listens. It listens to your body more than it speaks. Inside your heart, there is a tiny cluster of cells called the sinoatrial node. It's sometimes called the natural pacemaker. Like a lighthouse that never turns off, it sends out little electric sparks, tiny pulses of light and signal that move through the heart muscle in perfect time. These signals tell your heart when to squeeze and when to rest. Squeeze, rest, all day, all night, even when you're asleep, even before you were born. But this little pacemaker doesn't work alone. It responds to information from all around the body. It gets updates from your brain, your nerves, your hormones, and your breath. If something startles you, the brain tells the adrenal glands to release adrenaline, just like we talked about earlier. That adrenaline reaches the heart quickly and it tells the pacemaker, "Go faster." And the heart listens. Just like that, the beat speeds up, sometimes gently, sometimes all at once. And when the moment passes, when the danger fades or the thought softens, the body sends a different signal. A signal that says, "It's okay now. You're safe. Slow down." And the heart listens again. This is called heart rate variability. It means your heart isn't a metronome. It doesn't tick, tick, tick in perfect time. It adjusts, it flows, it responds to your emotions, your breath, your position, your sleep. A healthy heart doesn't just beat, it dances. And that's what makes it so beautiful. When you're scared, the heart's faster rhythm is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of love. It's a sign of connection. It's the body's way of saying, I'm here, I'm paying attention, I'm doing what I was made to do. And when you lie down, breathe deeply, or feel comforted by someone's voice, like this one, your body senses that softness. It sends a message back to the pacemaker, and the spark inside your heart slows. A little more space between the beats. A little more silence between the sound. This return to stillness is a kind of homecoming. Your body was never broken. It just needed to feel safe. Your heart is connected to something called the vagus nerve, which we've whispered about before. When you activate this nerve through gentle breath, soothing sound, or a calm environment, it tells the heart to ease its rhythm. And here's the gentle truth. You can help this happen. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to force anything. But you can support your body with softness. You can create conditions where safety feels possible. That might mean sitting upright with your shoulders relaxed. That might mean closing your eyes and humming gently. That might mean drinking something warm or listening to quiet music. These are not tricks. They're signals. You're sending light to the lighthouse inside your chest, letting it know the storm has passed. You can shine gently now. When people feel anxiety, the racing heart can be the hardest part. It feels physical. It feels like something we can't control. But if you remember that it's a signal, not a sentence, you can begin to work with it instead of against it. You can place your hand over your chest and say softly, "Thank you for keeping me ready. But I'm okay now." That one thought, spoken in kindness, can change the rhythm of your entire body. You might not feel it right away, but your heart is listening, and it will respond. In the next part of our journey, we'll talk about how posture and body language affect your heart rate and nervous system, even when you don't notice. But for now, rest in this moment. Your heart is not your enemy. It is your oldest friend, your most loyal companion. It has never missed a beat. Even now, in the quiet of this moment, it is holding you. Steady, present, here. Let's take a moment to feel the shape of your body, the way you're sitting or lying, the way your spine curves, the way your shoulders rise or fall with each breath. You may not realize it, but your posture is speaking, not just to the world, but to yourself, to your brain, to your heart, to your nervous system. The way you hold your body can gently shape the way your body holds you. It's like a conversation that never stops. And when you're scared, or tense, or uncertain, that conversation changes. You might notice your shoulders lifting, as if trying to become smaller or safer. Your neck might stiffen, your jaw might clench, your hands may grip something tightly. Sometimes, even your toes curl. These small shifts in your body aren't random. They're patterns. They're old, quiet habits your body learned from moments where it felt unsure, or exposed, or like something unknown was coming. But what's beautiful is this: those patterns can change. You don't need to force it. You don't need to fix your posture, but you can soften into it. You can notice and gently adjust. Because when you move your body into positions that say, "I'm okay," your nervous system listens. It hears you. It begins to calm. For example, when you sit upright with your chest gently open, you're telling your body that it's safe, that it doesn't need to protect your heart right now. When your shoulders lower and your arms rest softly by your side, your brain reads that as a sign, no danger. When you uncross your legs or relax your fingers, you're reminding your body that it doesn't need to grip or guard, These aren't loud changes, they're whispers, and your body hears every one. This is why slow yoga, gentle stretching, or even lying flat on your back with your palms up can help calm you. It's not just the breath or the silence, it's the shape of your body returning to peace. Even your eyes play a role. Looking upward, at the ceiling, at the sky, can lift your mood, slow your thoughts. Looking downward too long, curling in on yourself, may deepen the sense that something is wrong. That's not a rule, just a reflection. Sometimes curling up is exactly what you need, but notice how your body feels when you change position. Feel the difference between being closed and being open, between tight and loose, between alert and supported. And remember, you don't have to be perfectly still. Movement can be calming too. Swaying, rocking, walking slowly, shifting weight from side to side. These motions soothe your inner systems like gently rocking a baby to sleep, because inside you, there's still a part that remembers being held. And movement reminds that part you are still being held now. Even your breath can adjust posture from the inside. When you breathe into your belly, your body expands gently, your spine lengthens, your chest opens, your organs shift. You create space inside yourself. And that space tells your brain that there is room for calm, that there is no reason to hide. Sometimes the smallest shift is enough. Lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, uncurl your toes. That's all. You don't need perfect alignment. You don't need to pose or perform. Just soften. The message you send your body with posture is simple. I am here. I am not rushing. I am not hiding. I am allowed to take up space in this moment. And when your body believes that, your heart slows down. Your breath steadies. Your muscles melt. Because posture is not about looking strong. It's about feeling safe. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore how the breath itself works with the heart, how inhaling and exhaling gently change your rhythm, and how something as simple as an exhale can quiet your nerves in less than 10 seconds. But for now, feel your body, not as something to fix, not as something broken, but as something wise, something that's always trying to help, even when it curls, even when it tenses, even when it forgets how to soften. You can remind it. You can listen to it. You can lie down. You can rest your head. You can stretch your arms overhead and take up a little more space. That's not selfish. That's healing. So as you listen to this quiet story, let your body become part of it. Let your spine grow a little longer. Let your hips rest a little heavier. Let your ribs expand like soft wings. Let your heart float in the center of all that space, gently supported, gently beating, just as it was made to do. Now that we've felt the way posture shapes calm, let's take one step closer inward into the breath. Not the kind you think about, not the deep breath you're told to take in stressful moments, not the ones that feel forced or counted or controlled. Just the kind of breath that happens when you let go. The breath that rises like a wave, unasked. The one that leaves the body on its own, softly, and returns just because you're alive. Your breath is always with you, and yet, in moments of fear or tension, it changes. It shortens, it rises into the chest. It becomes fast, shallow, uncertain, and your heart follows, because your breath and your heartbeat are in conversation all the time. Every inhale tells your heart, we need to move a little faster. Every exhale says, you can slow down now. This is called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. It's completely natural. It means your heart rate speeds up slightly as you inhale and slows down as you exhale. That's why breath is one of the most powerful tools you have to speak to your body, to guide it back to calm. But you don't need to master any breathing technique. You don't need to count to 4 or hold your breath or exhale for a certain number of seconds. All you need to do is notice. Notice the way your breath feels right now. Notice where it begins Is it in your chest, your nose, your belly? Notice how long it stays, and notice how softly it leaves. You don't need to make it slower, just be with it, and it will slow on its own, because breath is like trust. The more gently you treat it, the more willingly it stays. And when it stays, your heart feels it. That's why sighing can feel so good. It's the body's way of pressing the reset button. That long exhale, that's the nervous system saying, we made it through the moment. Some people breathe out through the mouth when they're scared. Short, fast puffs. That's not wrong. It's the body trying to offload energy. But when you're ready, you can try breathing through the nose. In through the nose, and out through the nose. That kind of breath is soft, warm. It filters the air. It calms the brain. And it signals the heart, we are not in danger. We are resting now. Even the tiniest shift in breath can change the whole internal landscape. Imagine your breath like a breeze. Not something to force, just something to notice. Let it brush through you. Let it rock you. Let it wrap around your heart like a soft blanket. When you're scared, the breath is the first to go. And when you're healing, it's the first to return. Breath is your anchor, even in panic, even in sadness, even in sleep, especially in sleep. Your breathing at night tells your body how deep to rest, how long to stay still, how much to release. And sometimes, just before sleep, the breath gets uneven. It's okay, that's your body testing the bridge between waking and dreaming. You may even feel a little startle in the chest. A deep breath, a small jolt. That's the breath saying, we're crossing now. And the heart listening back. They are companions, always. Your heart doesn't move alone. It follows the breath. It dances with it. So tonight, as you lie here and listen, you don't have to do anything big. Just breathe. Just feel how the inhale lifts and how the exhale softens. Maybe place your hand on your stomach or your ribs and feel the wave rise and fall. That's all. That's enough. There's a reason people say, just breathe in difficult moments. It's not just advice, it's a return to rhythm, a return to presence, a return to something ancient and soft and always available. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore the difference between sudden fear and long-term stress, how short bursts of worry feel different in the body than the kind of fear that stays for days or weeks. But for now, stay with this breath. It belongs to you. It's your thread to safety, and your heart is following it, beat by beat, toward rest. So far we've walked together through the sudden fluttering moments, the surprise fears, the racing heartbeats that rise like waves and fall again with breath. But what about the fears that don't pass quickly? The ones that stay quietly in the background, not like thunder, but like a low hum, not sharp, but heavy. These aren't the fears that make you jump or gasp. They're the ones that sit inside you all day and sometimes all night. They're soft but constant, and when they stay long enough, they begin to shape the way your heart beats, not in a sudden sprint, but in a kind of quiet tension. This is the difference between fear and stress. Fear is fast. Stress is slow. Fear is a flash of lightning. Stress is a steady drizzle that never ends. And just like fast fear can cause your heart to race, long-term stress can cause your heart to stay elevated. Not wildly, not loudly, but just enough to be noticed. Maybe your chest feels heavy even when you're not running. Maybe your breath never feels quite full. Maybe you're tired but restless. These are the signs of a body holding on, not to one scary moment, but to many small ones, stacked like stones. This kind of stress comes from things that don't resolve quickly: work, health, relationships, the unknown. It builds quietly, And your nervous system, which was designed for bursts of fear and recovery, now finds itself stuck in a kind of half-alert state. Not full panic, not full peace, just somewhere in between. The body keeps preparing but never gets to act. The heart keeps watching but never gets to rest. You might not even notice it at first. You just feel off. Your energy dips. Your sleep feels light. Your thoughts circle back to the same worries. And your heart, loyal as ever, beats on. Steady, slightly fast, always listening. But here's the part that matters. The body doesn't want to stay in this state. It's not trying to harm you. It's trying to help. It's trying to make sense of something that feels uncertain. And when it doesn't get a clear answer, it stays ready. But readiness isn't meant to last forever. That's why chronic stress feels so exhausting. The body was made to respond and then recover. If it never gets to recover, the wear begins to show. Not just in the heart rate, but in sleep, digestion, immunity, mood. But even in this place, the body is still listening, still waiting for a signal that it can let go, that it's safe again. And that's where softness comes in. When fear stays too long, the answer isn't to fight it harder. The answer is to slow down the messages the body is receiving, not with force, with repetition, with gentleness, with the same kind of breath we practiced earlier, with posture, with quiet, with words that don't pressure but reassure. Words like, "It's okay to rest now. Nothing has to be fixed right this moment. You're allowed to be still." These messages might feel strange at first. If you've been holding tension for days, weeks, or even years, softness can feel foreign. But your body remembers it. Somewhere, deep inside, your system knows what calm feels like. It just needs to be reminded. Not once, but over and over again. Calm doesn't come in a single breath. It comes in layers, in moments, in nights like this where someone speaks to you softly, where no one asks anything of you, where your heart is allowed to simply be. One of the most powerful tools for long-term stress is ritual. Not complicated routines, just small, predictable moments that the body learns to associate with safety. Maybe it's putting on cozy socks at night. Maybe it's lighting a candle. Maybe it's listening to this voice, this sleepy doctor, telling you that everything can wait until morning. These rituals create anchors. They tell your nervous system, "We're entering the calm zone now," and your heart begins to listen. Maybe not right away, but it will. It always does. That's how recovery begins, not with a sudden change, but with a gentle shift, a pattern of peace, a quiet promise that your body can begin to believe again. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore what fear and stress do to your sleep, why your body sometimes wakes in the night, why your dreams feel restless, and how to guide your heart back to stillness beneath the sheets. But for now, if you're still awake with me, place your hand softly over your chest. Feel the rhythm, steady or fast, light or strong, and say this, even if only in your thoughts. You don't have to be on guard now. I'm here. You are safe. You can rest. And if those words feel hard to believe, that's okay. Say them anyway. Say them like you would to someone you love, because that someone is you. And this body you live in, this heart that never stops, this breath that stays with you even when everything else feels uncertain, it's doing its best. It's always been doing its best, and now it's learning to rest. There's something about the night, isn't there? The world goes quiet, the lights dim, the distractions fade, and yet, for many of us, that's when the noise inside begins. Maybe you felt it before. You lay your head down, ready for rest, only to feel your heart flutter. It's a soft rhythm at first, but then it grows. Your breath feels unsure. Your mind replays something small that suddenly feels bigger. You try to ignore it. You turn over, you pull the blanket tighter, but the thought persists. The body follows, the chest tightens, the silence starts to echo. This is nighttime anxiety, not a panic attack, not a loud alarm, just a quiet pull, a restless ache that arrives precisely when you hope to feel calm. Why does it happen? Why does fear sneak in when the world finally slows down? The answer is simple, and yet deeply human. During the day, we are busy, focused, distracted. Our minds move from task to task. The body is alert, responding to 100 little signals, 100 small demands. But at night, everything stops. The input goes quiet, and with that silence, something else rises. The mind begins to process what it had no time to feel before. Worries that were once muffled by daylight return, clearer now, and the body, always listening, reacts. Your nervous system doesn't know it's bedtime. It only knows that your thoughts have shifted. And if one of those thoughts carries fear or even uncertainty, the body prepares. The heart beats faster. The breath becomes shallow. The muscles subtly brace. It doesn't take much. Just a sentence in your head. Just a question without an answer. And suddenly, sleep feels far away. This is not a failure. This is not your body betraying you. It is your body still trying to protect you, even when all you want is peace. The nighttime heart responds the same way it would in the middle of the day, with readiness, with attention. But you don't need to fight it. You don't need to wrestle your own body into stillness. You can guide it. With breath, with posture, with softness. You can offer it a new signal. This fear is only a thought, and I am safe. That single message, delivered again and again with kindness, can change everything. The heartbeat that once raced now slows. The mind that once spun now circles gently. The breath that felt unsure becomes anchored. How? Because your nervous system is still listening. It always has been. Even at 2 a.m., even in the dark, your body wants peace. And you can give it peace without needing answers. You don't need to solve the worry. You just need to soften around it. You can whisper to it, "You can be here, but I am not afraid of you." You can thank your body for trying to help. You can stretch your arms overhead like a quiet yawn. You can sigh, and that sigh tells the body the moment has passed. We are no longer in danger. And slowly, slowly, your heart listens. One helpful practice in moments like this is placing your hand over your heart, not to check your pulse, not to measure, but simply to connect. You might say quietly, "Hello, old friend. I feel you. Thank you for beating, but you don't need to hurry anymore." It might sound silly, but to the body, it's everything. It's reassurance. It's presence. And presence is the most powerful way to bring yourself back to rest. You might also try imagining a place, not a fantasy, just a simple, familiar image. A quiet porch, a warm light, a soft bed beside a window. Picture that place, not as a movie, but as a memory your body can visit. And as you walk through that place in your mind, your nervous system walks with you. The heart steps slower. The breath returns. The fear fades, not because it vanished, but because it no longer controls the moment. And sometimes that's all we need. Not to erase the worry, just to loosen its grip. In the next part of our journey, we'll talk about something even softer, the power of safety cues, sounds, scents, movements, tiny signals that tell your body it's okay now. But before we go there, if you're still with me, I invite you to simply rest. You don't need to do anything, not even sleep, just rest. Let the weight of the blanket hold you. Let your eyelids lower, even halfway. Let your breath arrive and leave like a soft tide. And let your heart, this beautiful listener, find its way back to rhythm. Because fear may visit in the night, but peace can stay longer, and peace is already on its way. We've explored how fear rises, fast or slow, sudden or quiet, and how the body responds with a faster heartbeat, a shorter breath, a tighter chest. But now let's talk about how safety returns, not in a flash, not in a single breath, but through a series of tiny signals, small messengers your body has been learning to recognize since the day you were born. These are called safety cues. They're not just ideas, they're sensations. They're little physical reminders that say to the nervous system, you can relax now, the threat is gone. And here's what's beautiful, your body is wired to receive them. It's constantly scanning your environment for clues. Is it safe to rest? Is it safe to breathe deeper? Is it safe to let the heart slow down again? And when it senses certain sounds, movements, or feelings, it begins to shift. Not because you told it to, but because it knows how to listen. One of the most powerful safety cues is warmth. When your body feels warm, whether from a blanket, a cup of tea, a soft bath, or even the touch of your own hand, it signals the parasympathetic nervous system to step in. That's the side of the nervous system responsible for rest, digestion, and calm. It tells your heart to slow. It softens your breath. It lowers your alertness, not to make you weak, but to make you still. That's why babies settle when they're swaddled, why animals curl up to sleep, why humans wrap themselves in coats, in quilts, in comfort. Warmth tells the body, you are held, and the body hears that. Another safety cue is rhythm, a soft, steady beat, a lullaby. Footsteps on wood, the ticking of a clock, rain on the window. These patterns remind the nervous system of predictability, of order. They say, nothing sudden is happening, nothing needs your defense. Rhythm is why rocking helps babies, why people sway when nervous, why even your breath, when it becomes even and slow, can calm your entire inner system. Because rhythm is remembered. It's built into your brain, your heart, your cells. The heart, after all, is rhythm. And when it hears another calm pattern, it joins in. The beat slows, the anxiety fades. Another cue is softness. Soft light, soft voices, soft textures. Harshness signals danger, but softness invites stillness. When the eyes see dimness, the pupils adjust. The brain releases melatonin. The body begins to prepare for sleep. When the ears hear a low voice, a whisper, a hum, it tells the vagus nerve. This person isn't yelling. They aren't rushing. They're safe to be near. And that message travels all the way to the chest. You may have noticed how animals respond to tone. How a dog lies down when you speak softly. How a cat purrs when you whisper. Your nervous system is just as sensitive. You may not realize it, but the tone of your environment is shaping your state. Always. Another cue is scent. Certain smells, lavender, vanilla, rain, baked bread, warm tea, can lower the heart rate, not by magic, but by memory. Your brain attaches scent to emotion, and when it smells something from a peaceful memory, it reactivates the state associated with it. That's why some people feel calmer after lighting a candle, or applying lotion, or simply walking through nature. It's not just aroma, it's association. It's the body saying, last time I smelled this, I was okay. Maybe I am again. Even stillness is a cue. When the body finds itself in a place with no sudden movement, no threat of change, it begins to soften. That's why the quiet moments, before sleep, before storms, before sunrise, feel sacred. Because the body senses stillness and thinks, I don't need to run. The more of these cues you bring into your environment, the easier it is for your body to step out of fear and into rest. You don't need all of them. Even one is enough. One sound, one texture, one breath. The goal isn't to make everything perfect, it's to build familiarity, to let the body feel again and again. This place is safe. This moment is mine. And with time, those cues begin to layer, like pillows, like blankets, like soft reminders that you don't have to protect yourself right now. You are already protected, and when your body believes that, your heart slows, Your breath deepens, your stomach unclenches, your jaw releases. That's the quiet miracle of safety. It doesn't need a reason, it just needs repetition. So if you've had a racing heart lately, or restless thoughts, or nighttime worry, maybe tonight you can choose just one cue. A warm drink, a soft blanket, a candle, a hum, and sit with it. Don't rush it. Let it sink in. Let your body hear it. Let your nervous system adjust. And then, when you're ready, lie down. Feel the surface beneath you. Feel the air touch your skin. Feel the way your body begins to trust the stillness. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore the heart's memory, how repeated fear leaves traces in the body, and how repeated calm can rewrite them. But for now, let your body learn this moment. Let it hear the voice, the warmth, the rhythm. Let it believe what you are slowly remembering. You are safe. You are supported. You are here. By now, you've seen how your heart listens to your breath, your posture, your thoughts, your environment. You've felt how a single sound, a shift in light, or a comforting touch can guide it from fear to calm. But what happens when the heart keeps reacting, even when you've done everything right? What happens when the fear doesn't come from this moment, but from the ones before it? That's what we're going to whisper through now, because your heart doesn't just beat, it remembers, not in stories, not in words, but in rhythms, in reflexes, in how quickly it races when something feels off, in how long it takes to return to stillness. This is the part of the nervous system that learns, not just to survive, but to expect. If your body has experienced fear often, sudden or quiet, real or imagined, it begins to shape its baseline around that experience. This is called conditioning. And it's not weakness, it's intelligence. Your body isn't stuck, it's trying to prepare you. It says, last time this happened, something felt wrong. So let's be ready again, just in case. The heart learns that pattern. It gets quicker at rising, slower at settling. It's trying to help. But if the fear keeps coming, if the rest never fully returns, the system stays tilted toward alert, tilted toward tightness, tilted toward speed. That's when it becomes frustrating. You're in a calm place. You're not in danger. You've lit the candle, made the tea, dimmed the lights. And still, your chest feels fluttery. Your breath doesn't feel deep. Your heart seems too ready. And that's when doubt creeps in. Why won't my body relax? But here's what your body needs you to know. Healing isn't instant. It's not about doing something once. It's about showing your nervous system gently, day after day, that it doesn't need to brace anymore. And that takes time, repetition, reassurance. You are not failing if fear still shows up. You are not broken if your heart still rushes when nothing is wrong. You are relearning. You are repatterning. You are walking your body out of the storm, one soft step at a time. Think of it like this. Fear made a groove, a little pathway in the system. And now, with each calm breath, each quiet evening, each kind word, you whisper to yourself, you're carving a new one. It starts shallow, but over time, it deepens. The heart begins to follow that new rhythm, not because you forced it, but because it was shown something better. That's what memory is, deep in the body. It's not pain that needs to be erased. It's rhythm that needs to be replaced. One of the ways we do this is through safe repetition. Finding things that feel good, not exciting, not intense, just good, and doing them again and again. Drinking warm tea at the same time, stretching before bed, listening to the same soft voice, like this one, sitting by the same window, watching the same light fade each night. These small rituals don't just comfort the mind, they train the body, they tell your heart, this moment is familiar. And familiar means safe. That's why people rock in chairs, why children want the same bedtime story, why adults light the same candle every night. It's not boredom, it's medicine. The nervous system responds to patterns, and when you give it soft ones, it begins to loosen the grip on the old ones. There's also a truth many forget. Healing fear often feels boring, not dramatic, not loud, not a breakthrough, just boring. And that's exactly what your heart needs, because fear is sharp, it's fast, it's activating. But calm is quiet, it's slow. It doesn't shout for your attention, it just waits. So if you ever wonder whether your slow walks, your deep breaths, your quiet routines are doing enough, they are. They are doing more than enough. They are rewriting the rhythm. And with time, your heart will begin to follow. It will feel the new baseline you are building. It will remember peace the way it used to remember panic. That is the gift of neuroplasticity, of repair, of choosing a new path again and again, even when fear tries to pull you back. In the next part of our journey, the final part, we'll rest fully in this understanding. We'll thank the heart for its loyalty. We'll close the story the way we began, softly, slowly, and with deep appreciation for the quiet ways your body has tried to protect you. But for now, place your hand back over your chest. Feel the rhythm there, not to judge it, but to honor it. Whether fast or slow, it's been with you through everything. And now it is learning something new, not because you demanded it, but because you stayed. You kept breathing, you kept listening, and you kept offering something safer. That is how the heart learns to rest again. That is how the fear turns into peace. And now we've arrived at the end. Not a sharp end, not a loud goodbye, just a quiet pause, a gentle turning inward. You've listened to this story for a long time. You've followed your heart through fast beats, soft breaths, deep thoughts, and slow returns. You've heard how your body responds to fear and how, despite everything, it always longs for calm. And now you know something powerful. Your heart isn't the enemy. It never was. It's your ally, your mirror, your messenger. Every time it speeds up, it's not betraying you. It's trying to help, trying to prepare, trying to understand. And when you finally feel safe, when the light is low, the voice is soft, and the world begins to fade, your heart listens to that too. It slows not because you told it to, but because it knows. It knows that danger is no longer near, that comfort has arrived, that it doesn't need to race anymore. It can rest. You can rest. So let's do that now, not just by lying still, but by softening around every part of this journey. Around the fear, around the breath, around the long moments where your heart beat faster than you expected. Let's stop trying to fix it, and instead thank it. Thank your heartbeat for showing up no matter how it sounded. Thank your breath for staying with you, even when it felt unsure. Thank your body for carrying you through so many storms, even when it wasn't sure how. You are here now. You are safe now. And safety doesn't always feel like fireworks. Sometimes it feels like a long exhale, like a blanket, like the space between two thoughts, like the steady beat beneath your ribs. That beat has always been yours. And tonight, it wants to carry you into sleep, not with force, not with pressure, but with permission. Permission to be soft, to be still, to be enough. Even if your mind is still thinking, even if your heart is still fluttering, even if fear visits again tomorrow, you're still enough. Because now you have something new. You have understanding. You've learned the language of your own body. And once you learn it, you can never fully forget. The next time fear comes, you'll remember what it feels like to slow down. You'll remember what it means to place a hand on your heart, to close your eyes, to whisper, "I'm here. You're safe." That's all healing really is. Returning, not arriving once, but returning again and again to the place where softness lives, to the moment where your breath leads your body back to stillness. where your heart, once racing, begins to rock you gently, like a cradle, like a tide, like sleep. That's where you are now, in the space between the story and the silence, in the warm quiet where the body finally lets go. You don't have to remember everything I said. You don't have to understand every part. All you need to know is that your body has heard you. Your heart has listened. And it's okay now. It's okay to sleep. If you'd like, close your eyes now. If they're not already closed, soften your jaw. Unclench your hands. Let your toes go loose. Let the weight of the bed hold you. And as you rest here, I'll say just one more thing. If this story helped you, if it made you feel a little calmer, a little softer, a little more seen, then I'd be honored if you subscribed to this Sleepy Doctor Space. Not for numbers, not for growth, but to help others find the same stillness you found tonight. This tiny, quiet channel lives for moments like this. And if you'd like, you can leave a little note in the comments. Tell me where you're listening from. Tell me what time it is there. Or simply say, I'm here. That's enough. Because you are. You are here. Breathing. Beating. Being. And now, resting. I'll leave you in silence soon. But your body will stay with you. Your breath will stay with you. And your heart, always your heart, will stay with you. Good night, dear one. Sleep well, sleep safe, and thank you for listening.